Imagine a world where humans don't exist, where the sky suddenly turns dark in the middle of the day, and creatures the size of houses disappear from Earth forever. But the real question is, what actually killed the dinosaurs? And if you think the answer is just an asteroid hit the Earth, then you only know half the story, because the truth is much longer and much more terrifying. About 66 million years ago, Earth looked completely different. There were no humans, no cities, no modern continents as we know them today, and most importantly, dinosaurs ruled the planet for over 160 million years. That is not just a long time, that is hundreds of times longer than human civilization has existed. They were everywhere, giant predators, built like killing machines, plant eaters the size of buses, or even buildings flying reptiles that ruled the skies like dragons. For a long time, it seemed like nothing could ever change this world. But Earth was already changing. Before the catastrophe, the planet was becoming unstable. Climates were shifting. Ecosystems were weakening. The balance of nature was already under pressure. And deep beneath the surface, massive volcanic activity was already reshaping the planet. Earth was not calm. It was building toward collapse. And then it happened. A massive asteroid, about 10 to 15 kilometers wide, struck what is now the Yucatan Peninsula. But this was not just a big rock hitting the ground. It was an object moving at extreme speed, carrying unimaginable energy. In an instant, shock waves spread across the entire planet. Global firestorms ignited billions of tons of dust and debris were thrown into the atmosphere. But the explosion itself was not the worst part. The sky changed. Within hours, sunlight began to disappear. Day turned into twilight, and twilight into darkness. Earth entered what scientists call an impact winter, and this is where the real extinction began. Because without sunlight, plants stopped photosynthesis, ecosystems started collapsing. Food chains broke from the bottom up. No plants meant no herbivores. No herbivores meant no predators. Life was shutting down step by step. But the asteroid was not the only disaster. At the same time, massive volcanic eruptions were happening in what is now India, known as the Deccan Traps. They released carbon dioxide, sulfur gases, toxic particles. This made the climate even more unstable and harsh. So the Earth was already under stress, even before the asteroid impact. Not everything died, though. The survivors were small mammals, birds, which are actually descendants of dinosaurs, some aquatic species. Why did they survive? Because they needed less food, and they could hide more easily. Large dinosaurs had no chance in a world where the food chain collapsed. And here is the most important truth. Dinosaurs were not killed by a single event. They were destroyed by a combination of the asteroid impact, volcanic activity, rapid climate change, collapse of global ecosystems, a perfect chain of disasters that made survival impossible. Dinosaurs did not simply disappear. They lost a battle against a planet that suddenly changed the rules of life. And after that, the age of mammals began, and millions of years later, our story started.